Welcome to Liberate Your Life podcast, where we explore the art of holistic healing and personal transformation through Ayurveda and somatic practices. I'm your host, Melinda Fletcher, founder of Sattva Wellness Center, Ayurvedic practitioner, and somatic therapist. I'm here to guide you on a journey to harmonize your body, mind, and soul. Whether you're seeking emotional well-being, trauma recovery, or spiritual growth, this is your space to find balance and liberate your life. Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Liberate Your Life podcast. This is episode 41. You are your own guru. Today's episode, we will focus on self-guidance and inner wisdom, exploring how we can harness our innate capacity for healing and growth. Really, with the significance and the energy of the spring, we are diving into really new beginnings, rebirth, and renewal of our spirit, returning to source, returning to that which is innate at the ground of life in our beings. In You Are Your Own Guru on Liberate Your Life podcast. Hello, everyone. Let's dive right in. So I'm returning from a weekend with Krishna Das, and Krishna Das sings this devotional Sanskrit chanting call and response. And first, I really want to dive into this idea of you are your own guru, because it really goes back to, so he was doing this Q&A, and there's this constant way that we're designed and we get conditioned to look to the outside world for the answers. And ultimately the answers lie within us. And all of these practices that we do in Ayurveda and yoga and these traditional practices is really this way to calm the system, quiet the mind, so we can really connect back into that innate place in our soul that really knows. And that's where the intuitive guidance comes on. That's where the magic gets ignited. And that's where we find this calm center, that we have this ability to really embrace the dualities in life and really see that they are the dualities make up the container. So the light and the dark, right? They make up the container for life to exist. And we can't have the dark without the light and the light without the dark. So how do we come back to this innate knowing that you are your own guru? The whole world is rigged to have us look outward and search for happiness and search for health and search for joy through impulse, stimulation, aggravation, addiction. All the markets are really designed to teach us that we need all these things. And if we're really empowered within our own being, if we really connect to the power of our divine nature, we are just these sovereign autonomy beings, and you cannot control a free soul. And so there's multiple layers why the markets and the industries and the conditioning is built around having us look outward, so that we consume products, so that we can be controlled, so we can be influenced in these ways. But you are your own guru. So what was in the Buddha is within you. So the Buddha, yes, went through many, many layers of purification to this enlightened state, but the Buddha is no different than you and I. There's the work that he did, and there's the purification and the connection that he had and the experience. But we're also taught that we have these gurus and these teachers outside of ourselves. And yes, there is times and place to have mentors and teachers and guides, but you are your own guru in the sense that the light of divine love, purity, essence, all of which was within all of the greatest teachers that have walked this earth, is within you as well. So there's this whole returning to home. And when we were with Krishna Das, he had Q&A and people were coming up. It was really like satsang. They were coming up to the microphone and asking the teacher and bringing their worries and their questions about life and suffering and pain and fear. And And Krishna Das would constantly guide everyone back to, number one, Krishna Das doesn't know any better, that he's human, that his teacher Maharishi would be like, that it is within each individual, and to not place the power outside of ourselves, because then we lose that deep connection to really igniting, activating, and coming home to our inner divinity that is at the core of all of life. So really Krishna Das was, really helping people come back home to their heart. And my personal experience with walking into the space, as soon as he began to play and sing and chant, my whole being just released, and I cried tears, and I really just connected back to my heart and could really feel that divine power of love and compassion and connection. And it's always, with this chanting, with kirtan, with bhakti yoga, I always return home to my heart, to what has always been there and what will always be there throughout time, no matter how messy life gets and how hard life gets and how distracted I get and how busy I get. It is always there holding me. So the practice of bhakti yoga is where I always return home to my heart and just bask in the glory of love. And it really just helps to guide me through the next chapter of my life, in the sense that it just helps to clear out things that were busying my mind and really kind of blocking some of that magical, intuitive, trusting activation, because life gets messy and life gets hard and we have our pattern tendencies. So bhakti yoga is this pure path. When we chant, that resonance in our body, that frequency opens up these channels for purification and deep, deep love connection. And there's many practices. So, we talk about the meditation and the breath work and the yoga, being in nature. People, there's these traditions that are there to purify. We are not reinventing the wheel. It is throughout time that the human tendencies can become dark and hard and challenging. But these traditions are there to purify, to connect us back home and connect us to our inner guru and trust ourselves and allow that deep intuitive sense to guide us. And when we're connected in that space, it's like the world around us becomes more magical. We see the extraordinary in the ordinary, because we see the magic, we feel the bliss, we feel the love, we're carried through this like divine guidance, this higher intelligence that does not mean we do not have challenges, but it's always, how do we greet those challenges? How do we understand them through the perspective of love and compassion within our heart and within ourselves? So you are your own guru. And this is also really inspired by the spring. We have entered the spring up here in Lake Tahoe in the high mountains of 6,200 elevation. Spring is just starting to happen. But other places it's already been there. But we're still in this time of spring. We just had Beltane yesterday in between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. And really this is this embodiment of new beginnings, of rebirth, of renewal. And we see it in nature. Nature is just buzzing and the bees are out and there's the flowers and things are just beginning to bloom and wake up from the winter. The snow is melting, so the clean waters are flowing and really renewing the rivers and hydrating the earth from this deep, deep rest and restorative time of the winter. So you are your own guru is connected with this beautiful spring energy in my eyes and in my heart right now. I'm really feeling this connection because it's this rebirth of a new beginning in this springtime, and what are the seeds we want to plant? What are we clearing out from the winter season? What do we want to really grow this year so that we can really enjoy the fruits of our labor in the harvest time of the fall, right? So everything has its own organic timing. And so patience and discipline and commitment to that which is truly important to us, that which we really connect to in our hearts, that we want to cultivate, foster, nourish in our lives, and really that manifestation power and really aligning our attention with our intention of what do we want to create in our lives. And so spring has this beautiful return to that inner wisdom, return to self, this rebirth, really shaking off the winter and really allowing us to nourish the places in our soul that really want to come alive this year. So setting those intentions and those practices to connecting to the guru within you, and in the light of the spring energy in this rebirth and renewal, where do we want to focus our energy? What do we want to nourish in our life? What are the things that we really want to leave behind us and compost in that winter earth? And moving forward, how are we committed to purifying and cleansing our system on a regular basis? Because no matter how beautiful or how challenging and everything in between our lives are, we get impacted with aggravation, stimulation, overwhelm, and challenges in life. And we're also there's a high level of toxicity in our natural environment and then in all the products and in our foods. So we really want to make sure that we're cleansing and purifying our system. That always helps to create this beautiful direct pathway back into our hearts, back into our divinity, and really returning to that guru within. So spring is highlighted by cleansing practices. Ayurveda is really focused on cleansing in the spring. And all these different practices help to purify the body, help to purify the mind, and really give us that fresh start for a new spring beginning. I would like to offer some tips for home cleansing that you can do right now in the spring season. So one of them is sipping warm water throughout the day. So warm water really helps to clear and cleanse and invigorate the system. It helps to stoke the digestive fire. And when the digestive fire is stoked, it helps to burn off and purify, so there's nothing like residual left in the system. Self-oil massage, so warming sesame oil and massaging your body. There's lots of resources on the exact technique to do that, but that is really helpful in nourishing the dry skin. It helps to move the lymph, the energy, and the blood in the body. It's calming to the nervous system, and it's this beautiful intentional practice to be with our bodies, to honor our bodies, and to really start to move and invigorate the system after the winter season. You can also sip on CCFT, that's cumin, coriander, fennel seeds, equal parts, steep and strain. And that's going to be a nice mild cleansing tea to sip through the spring season. Also, you want to make sure that you're eating warmed cooked foods that are moist with healthy fats, healthy oils, digestive spices, and good salt. So what that does is that warm food is going to help nourish the system. It's going to be easy to digest. Again, we're helping the digestive fire reset so we can burn off any impurities, and we can really nourish our bodies and really have this gentle transition out of winter into the spring season. Some of those digestive spices are going to be really in that traditional curry idea. So we're looking at cumin, coriander, fennel, fenugreek, asafoetida, black pepper, turmeric, ginger. And you can also look, I have some resources on my website for that as well, as far as the digestive spices and recipes. And then the purification through the sadhana practice. Our daily sadhana is our daily spiritual practice. So We're looking at a combination of yoga, meditation, and breath work. So I really enjoy doing a 30-minute practice every day. And I will always start off with my yoga practice that just helps to really invigorate and strengthen and move the body so I can already start purifying the mind. So by the time I'm in Shavasana, I'm really in this calm state, and then I can sit up, I can do some breath work and enter into this beautiful space for my meditation practice. So that is a beautiful purification, cleansing practice, really preparing the body for this new season. And then also tongue scraping in the morning. So oral care is super important to cleanse the digestive tract. And so while we're sleeping, we're really pushing out these toxins that build up through the night. So we're pushing some down and creating a bowel movement in the morning, and then we're pushing some up onto the tongue that surfaced that bacteria, right? So we're a hollow tube from mouth to anus. So in the morning, we really want to purify the oral cavity. And so we're looking at brushing our teeth, tongue scraping, oil pulling, and then warm water and lemon. So the warm water and lemon is also going to be that warm sensation that helps to invigorate, cleanse, and purify the digestive tract. And then the lemon there is added for an alkalining system. So we want an alkalining system for a pH balance there. So these are some practices that you can do at home. And then at my center in South Lake Tahoe, California, the beautiful Lake Tahoe mountains, I am doing these beautiful treatments right now. It's Abhyanga, so that's the full body oil treatment, and then that's followed by a steam treatment. So then we're with wet steam, we're heating and sweating and purifying the body. So that's a special that I have right now. If you are in the local area, come see me at Sattva Wellness Center. And then I'm also offering a personalized 10-day Ayurvedic cleanse that can be done in person or virtual. And there I guide you through an Ayurvedic cleanse, and there's herbal support, there's a cleanse guidebook, and there's one-on-one consultations that are included in that. So if you're interested in any of that, you can head to my website, sattvawellnesscenter.com, and send me a message. Sattva is spelled Sattva. So coming back to this whole concept around the spring renewal, cleansing and purification to connect within to your innate true nature, your true self, the true guru within you. The answers, the love, the compassion, the freedom, the truth lies within you. No one is left out of the equation. We are all special. We are all profound. We are all just created with such grace and infinite possibility and potential. And I really just want to emphasize that, to really direct you to your personal power for your healing and growth, and that within that lies the keys to your transformation, happiness, and freedom. Thank you for joining us on today's journey of liberation and renewal. I'm Melinda Fletcher, and it's been a pleasure guiding you through these transformative practices. Remember, you are your own guru. To continue your journey with us, subscribe to our podcast and visit us at Sattva Wellness Center for more resources and support. Until next time, keep blossoming into your best self and embrace the path of renewal.